Well, here we are at the beginning of the Overland track. So I'm doing that again, 7 days this time. So we're going to do a few side trips. Weather's absolutely perfect. Get a load of that. For today anyway, forecast goes south from there. Should be a storm this afternoon, they're saying, and then snow for 4 days. So we'll see what happens. I'm just leaving the accommodation now, walking down to the visitor centre and wait for the bus to take me to the start point. This is Crater Lake, a nice little lake nestled away here in the undergrowth. This is at the first little junction, halfway up. Down there is Ronnie's Creek, and around here we've got Dove Lake, and then Marion Lookout up the hill. This is Marion Lookout. A few people there on the top with Cradle Mountain in the background. And then over the edge here you have Dove Lake. Just go down to the edge. 1200 metres above sea level here. Very cold. There's been spots of ice on the track. There's Dove Lake, and then if we come round to this side you can see Cradle Mountain. I was going to climb that one, but if you look closely you can see ice and snow all over the peaks where you would climb up into, and it's very, very slippery. So we won't be climbing that one today. Another shot of Cradle Mountain. Dregs of snow all over it. Nice and slippery to climb. This is the track. Started off nice and clear this morning, but as you can see the clouds coming up and the storm forecast for tonight, so starting to build up for that. Cradle Mountain again. You can see the path there that leads up to the summit, and just down in the foreground is Kitchen's Hut. That's where we're going to be in about 5 minutes. And around to the south is Barn Bluff. So we'll go around to the left of Barn Bluff, keep to the left of it, and just on the other side we go down into Waterfall Valley where there's the first camp for the night. Land is just saturated. Just water dripping out all off of the tarns. Just past the turn off to Cradle Mountain. All the people will drop off now. So we're on the serious part of the walk from here on in. We head down a little bit and then pretty much straight along a flat down into Waterfall Valley. So Probably another 2 hours of walking. Weather's still holding up. It's looking pretty good. Have a listen to the frogs. Barn Bluff again. And this is the trail. You might see in the distance an igloo, green igloo. That's an emergency igloo. You can, if the weather's bad, you can lock yourself in there. Waterfall Valley Hut, 1 more hour. Up here we've got to turn off to Barn Bluff. It's Barn Bluff up there. 3 hours return. We won't be doing that one. We're going to continue on here down to the Overland track. Heading down into Waterfall Valley now, which runs from down there all the way up here and to the base of Barn Bluff. Up in that area is where the camp is, and then we'll progress out in the morning and follow that cliff face along and then head in that direction. Here we are, Waterfall Valley Huts. So just leaving Waterfall Valley. Raining, 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 and raining. Beautiful day. It's supposed to be really windy when we get out on the exposed place, so gusts to 75 kilometres an hour. Rain was only supposed to be 6 mil overnight. I think we've had lots more than that. 3-hour walk to the next hut, which is Windermere, Lake Windermere. Pretty easy walk. It is a little bit exposed on some parts, but pretty good walk still. We'll see what it's like when we get there, because it's only a 2.5–3 hour walk. We might go on to Pelion, but it'll depend on the weather. I'd really like to get to Pelion today, which gives me a day up a sleeve, but we'll see how we go. So we've just come up through there. That down there is Waterfall Valley, that's where we come from, down in there. And now we're up onto the plains. So this is where we're going to walk. There's a lake down there, not sure the name, but on the right hand side of that lake there's another bigger one called Lake Will. So a little bit protected here behind the bridge we've just climbed. Once we get out of the shade of that, the wind will pick up quite severely. It's all coming from my right hand side or behind me, so it's not too bad. It'd be totally different if we were facing it. But onwards and upwards. Up a bit, no more rain. Wind is still significant. The clouds, like they got plenty more rain. Just approaching Lake Windermere, that's the lake itself, and just to the right there in the bushes is the huts. As you can see, the rain has come back. And so another 10–15 minutes and we should be in the camp. This is the start of day 3. Just leaving Lake Windermere Hut, heading towards Pillion. Bit of snow overnight, a lot of rain, snow on the boardwalk. Magical. Looks like we might get some good weather today, but you never know, it always changes. Light dusting the snow, should get heavier as we get further in. Once again, we're all rigged up. Unfortunately, because of the rain yesterday, a lot of the underclothes all damp and wet, but you don't have a choice. With one set of walking clothes and one set of camp clothes, you always got to keep your camp clothes dry. So got to walk in wet clothes. So it should be about 4 to 5 hours to get to Pillion today, so we should be there about a bit after lunch. It's about 7:20 now, so we'll enjoy the walk. So just over here we got Mount Oakley. The base of that down in the valley there is the camp tonight, Pillion Hut Camp. Just the peak that's just touching the clouds, Mount Pillion West. And then through in the clouds there, you can't see it, but there's Mount Ossa, which is the highest mountain in Tasmania. The one in the foreground is Mount Pillion West. And this is all the button grass plains, full of water, full of tarns. Magic place, very exposed. Wind just whistles over here. Weather's holding out for us a little bit at the moment, but it's fun. Just arrived at the Fourth Valley Lookout. Got the pack and we're just going to have a look. And there's the Fourth Valley, Mount Oakley. She's a snowing. Yoo-hoo. Snow's coming down a bit heavier now. Well, we're back in rainforest again, and would you believe it, the sun's out. Just heading down to Frog Flats. It's probably another 45 minutes to get to Frog Flats through this type of countryside, and then got about an hour uphill into Peeling. Fourth River. Coming down into Peeling Hut. And it's just starting to rain. Toilets. And we have arrived. Pelion Hut first thing in the morning, about 5:30. Big dusting snow last night. Started day 4. We're just setting off from Pelion. There's an uphill climb all the way up to Pelion Gap, and this is the weather. Magical. Well, we made it up to Pelion Gap. It's a big climb up from Pelion Huts up to Pelion Gap. Took me a couple of hours, and now we look out to the west, Mount Doris in the foreground there, and then up and behind there's Mount Ossa. That's the highest mountain in Tasmania. There's the sign, Mount Ossa, Pelion Gap, and then across to the left here, see sticking out of the clouds, Mount Pelion East. And we're going to continue downhill down that side. It's a lovely day in paradise. Didn't stay up on Pelion Gap too long. The cold is just seeping right through. Got to be careful down here now. The snow on the boardwalks is a couple of inches thick. Makes it a little bit slippery. Look at that for a window wonderland. Absolutely magic. I'm down off of the gap. There's Mount Pelion East, and then we come around, that's the gap where I was, and then you've got Mount Doris, and then shrouded in cloud is Mount Ossa, and there's snow all over the landscape. Looks like we've got a bit of weather coming through over here, and I'll be progressing down through there, down to Kiora Hut, and then on to Duquesne Ridge. Just heading down into Kiora now. Still snowing. Now the direction's turned around, it's blowing into our face. makes it a bit more tougher, and then just then you come into sunshine. It's bizarre. Probably another half a k to go before we get to Kiora. Little Tarn stream. Almost to the top of Duquesne Pass, which is in between those two mountains up there. Pretty steep climb, but we're not to the top yet. Oh, here we are, top of Duquesne Gap, 1,070 metres above sea level. Ooh. That's the last big climb on the track. She's all downhill from here, ish. Just leaving Bert Nichols' hut. Had a big dump of snow last night. And we're off. Should be about 2.5 to 3 hours to Narcissus Hut, where we can catch the ferry across. Forecast today's really heavy rain for 24 to 36 hours. So I'm not going to go up Pine Valley. We'll leave that for next time. At the moment, it's just been too long in wet, cold clothes. So we'll get the ferry and go across. This is the turn off to the Pine Valley, so that way to Narcissus and the lake and out. That's where we've just come from, and if you go around here, that's the track down into Pine Valley. The weather's starting to come in. I've been here about 2 minutes and the cold is just seeping in. No snow here, but it's very cold.